All right. That is some terrible lighting. I think we're just going to have to deal with it. Breaking my rule here. Don't film without daylight. You'd think you could buy an expensive camera and it would work, but if I'm the one operating it, it's not true. All right, so I've got a few topics that I want to cover, but anything that anyone wants to talk about, let's get them in the chat. Thanks everyone for coming. I have a weird view here. This is not something I do very often. Guys like Stormy at Empire Metals kind of make me look like a complete amateur here. Um, I need to find a count. I can't even see how many people are in. So anyone in the chat, thank you very much. I see Gold Hound and Liquid Electrum, J Dre and Scout 75, 25 Karat Gold Buffalo. Hello, everybody. Throckmorton, Dan Hedin. I know a lot of you. There's a few new names. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Christopher. You don't have to do that. I really appreciate it. I hope you can stick around just a little while. I think I wanted to kick off. I've got a few links to point to, but I just wanted to kick off a little bit of talk about the price move today. I was going to do a video on that. Kind of know that that's the video you do if you want to get views. Clearly, that's not my only reason for doing this. You can tell by the videos I've been putting out lately. They've not really been the types of videos they do for lots of views. I want to get through a few more people in the chat just to make sure I see who's in there. And I will catch up here. So if I miss your name, sorry, I'm going to do that. Just keep hitting me in the chat and I'll I'll get it figured out. So Philly, Ken Wood, good to see you. Nick the Ice Pick. I don't know if you've changed your name or you're new, but 2 quarter-ounce gold lunars. That is it's fantastic. That series is definitely one of my favorites. I don't know that the rabbits are the best of the series, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have just been fuzzy and dumb. Kind of liked them. Living the dream. I think I mentioned you already. Jennifer McDade, James and Drade, G Trahan. So again, I think I recognize a lot of the names in here, and there's some new ones, so that's kind of fun. Kenneth Ledford, the Brig, Jeff McLean, Sparky 0083. DG, thanks everyone for coming. Again, I'm gonna miss a lot of chat. I don't know that I'm just not good at that yet. But again, keep it up. If you've got specific topics, hit them in the chat. I've got to. I want to get through a few things. I've got a good 2 hours here. I don't know how long everyone is going to put up with me, but we've got plenty of time. I think I saw Easton Press pop into chat, needs to sponsor this channel. I agree. These books are, they're fantastic. I do have some much older books that just don't look very nice. So I don't put them on the channel as often, but they photograph really well. I would love to have Easton Press doing something, because there are a lot of the books that they used to, or that they have for short periods of time. I swear they get rid of them before I get a hold of them. I just got another one though. I've been mentioning, gosh, I don't even know if I can get this in frame. I've been mentioning the book 1984 a lot lately, and finally just decided to get it. That's not going to show up, is it? Oh, well, trust me, it's 1984. All right, Shorts 304. Appreciate you joining. Don Nelson, DWLT, Tony Zambrana. I always feel really bad if I miss people hitting that chat. So again, keep at me, especially if we've talked about this live chat coming up and I'm missing the chat, then I'm going to feel twice as bad. SAS Finance, Samad Dar, Mark for Time, Goldhound, I called you out. A few of you have those crowns. David Sass. I had just recently kicked off. I better get rid of that book. Just recently kicked off memberships, and I don't have a huge plan for it. I'm going to be putting content back there. It's behind the membership wall. I felt kind of funny about that, but I want to do some of the types of content that will either get me in trouble by YouTube or just doesn't do well. And I don't know if this is interesting at all, but the way that YouTube works, if you get, say, a number of just poor performing videos in a row, Google doesn't forget that stuff. YouTube doesn't forget it. So all of a sudden they start showing you to fewer and fewer people. And this last week, I've kind of been doing videos like that where they're not really meant for maybe lots of people. View count goes down. I keep doing that, and it's just going to affect the channel. So the membership thing, I thought what I could do is I could get a little bit more content back there. I could worry a little bit less about dumb stuff like views and have a little bit more fun back there. So I'm going to have some of that. I did put one video back there, and Josh, yeah. So I need some knife sponsors too, and that's one of the things. Like even saying knives. I mean, these are pocket knives. I don't put out like tactical knives or anything like that. They're just pocket knives, and I know that even the pocket knives turn off a lot of people. So that's the kind of thing I want to be able to show some of the things I like and not have to worry about it a little bit. There's also some other things I can do with memberships on the Discord channel. I want to do uh, some I don't even know what they're called. They're live chat, but the way that I think I would set them up in Discord, it's just voice chat. Anyway, a lot that I want to do with that. Total amateur on it. I did add memberships. You probably have seen that join button again. Anyone with a crown in here, you're going to they're new members, and I think I saw David. I saw boy, there were. I think I've seen two or three of you in here. Christopher's in here. Anyway, thank you very much. It's one of those things where you always feel a little funny putting something out that is a subscription, but I think we can do some cool stuff with it. Anyway, shadow work. So the story about Ray, and his name isn't Ray. So I hope that doesn't mess up the whole story. It's very close to Ray, and I actually had a lot of people who wrote effectively said something like, why do you have to talk about poker? Why do you have to have knives? Why do you have to have alcohol? One person specifically called all three out. And I have a feeling he was a younger guy. So, I mean, that was a totally different thing. I don't know that he was trying to dress me down or not, but it is it's something that when I get those kind of notes, I always feel bad. Like maybe I did something wrong. It triggered somebody's, I don't know, if they have some kind of moral issue. If it's a religious thing or there's really if someone's a recovering alcoholic, I don't want to be putting alcohol out there, but come on. I mean, a lot of these things are just things that adults like, some adults, not others. Anyway, those are fun stories. I never know how to tell them. I mean, you can only talk about gold so many ways, so many times before you have to widen it up a little bit. And it's a funny thing trying to figure out what you think might be interesting, and kind of forget about the views again for a while. So I've been trying to do that this week. Anyway, I know a lot of you are in the chat right now. All three things are glorious. J. Dre, thank you. I'm gonna miss a lot of people. I have to assume though that when all is said and done, I mean, we have a lot more in common than we don't. So anyway, tell me in the chat if I'm like screaming. Is my audio okay? And I'm just gonna wait until someone tells me. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to take your word for it. Callie Fortune. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Screen flip on the chat. I think appreciate it. Thank you. It sounds like audio is okay. Those cards. That's actually the reason that some of these things have started to get into the videos is that I brought in some decks of cards. And one of the things that I was doing early on is I was trying to put like a sense of scale into these into the videos, because I might have like a 10th ounce coin, and a person isn't going to know if they've never seen that in person how big a 10th ounce is, or how big a 1 ounce is. These 2009 ultra high relief double eagles, I mean, they're a much narrower radius, and they might seem like a gigantic coin in the video without any kind of props that would show some scale. So I started bringing in the cards. I thought it helped give you a sense of how big those coins really were, and that's what kind of led to the pens, the pocket knives, whatever else I put in. Anyway, the cards. These are Joker and the Thief Wayfarers. They were the cards in the video today. It's just an incredible deck. I like Theory 11. I like Joker and the Thief. I like Black Ink Branded. We were just talking about it in Discord. And this particular deck is just so cool. I'm going to rip it, tearing them open. I should probably peek at the chat while I'm trying to do this. Greg Johnson, good to see you. Living the Dream, Dakota Who, John Bethia, DC, Dro Nazarian, Scout 75 SK. Good to see everyone, and hit that like button. I mean, I think it helps. I don't know, in live. I hear Stormy talk about it, so it must help. I don't even have a view with how many people are in the chat. Anyone know? All right, I'm gonna get some of these cards out. I mean, these are the Wayfarers by Joker and the Thief, and my lighting is absolutely terrible, but come on, these things are so nice. You don't see. I wish I could show this better. You just don't see cards that are nicer than these. And the other part of this, you're gonna catch this. I'm too dumb to figure out how a reverse video works, but we're here for the lulz. Band Talk, good to see you. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. We haven't done this for 11 months, so Happy New Year to everybody. I've been trying to get back to this, and I know I've mentioned that on the channel at least briefly, but I got hit by a truck. I mean, that's metaphorical, but I don't think that a truck would have done more damage to me. So I've just been feeling like hell I think I'm going on 3.5 months now. So it's been tough to do the Friday night live stuff. And I've been trying to get something together with a few of the other channels too. And that all kind of went by the wayside too when I didn't get sick. I got damaged. I got injured. I don't like to say that I got sick. 78 people in live chat. I've got something. I just pulled it up and it says 226. What does that mean? Are there 70 whatever I just said, or are there 226? Doesn't matter. The gold is blurry. This lighting has been tough. I should have just used an iPhone. I've got a DSLR here that I figured I would roll out and it would be wonderful, and it just wasn't. So sorry about the blurriness. Maybe I can get some of this stuff out of frame so we can get in on something. What did I just see there? Somebody joined up. Don Hadeen, thank you very much. Again, the memberships are out there, hoping to do more right now. Not a whole lot there, so no hard pitch on this stuff, but love to have you. Ortween, am I saying that right? Ortween International. You, my friend, have a tough name to say. My name is tough to say too. So got your whiskey glass. We're not supposed to talk about that according to some of the comments today, but what are you drinking? I have some 4 roses here, but I think it'll put me to sleep. I'm afraid to open it up yet. Light's too low. Paul, you know what it is my ISO, and it's gonna probably blind you here for a second as it readjusts. But uh yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this to a lovely level. I'll just be honest. I haven't done this enough to figure it out apparently, but this camera is looking for either really low light or really high light, and either way, it just kind of blurs everything. I'll keep messing with it. Uh, there he is, Jeffrey Jackson. Don't need to do that. Appreciate it all the same. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Haven't talked. Well, we talked briefly, but I don't know that I said Happy New Year. So hope everything's going well for you. Bill Dalton, good to see you too. I don't know how many people are over on Discord, but Bill's one of the mods there. He's a huge help. He's also someone who's over there to make me look bad. The guy has too many nice things. Who else do we have in here? Matthew Wahlberg, Jamie Foxx, Old and Young, Living the Dream. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I do have some topics. I'm going to get to them in a minute. I'm trying to monkey with this lighting, and it's either I ignore the lighting, claim defeat, and move on to the topics, or I keep monkeying with the bad focus and continue to stutter. God, look at that. Made it worse. I'm going to continue to go back and forth. This has a autofocus that's super slow, and I'm hoping it's going to dial in here and just magically correct things for me. All right. J. Dre, the pocket knives. So favorite, I don't know what was my favorite before. A Silver Wolverine and Band Talk. The ones that I use are not the ones that I show on the videos. Honestly, I've got a few Rocksteads, and they're easy favorites for me. They're Japanese pocket knives, and they're just absolutely fantastic steel. But you feel a little funny walking around with one of these. They're expensive, and still not going to focus. And I don't know. A lot of the places where I work, this would be too large of a pocket knife to carry anyway. You've got laws in some of the big cities that you can't even have a 3-inch blade. So a lot of these become desk knives. You know what? I'm going to try, see if it focuses up close. This is super professional. Look at that. We got to focus. Anyway, favorites though at the moment, I've really been into the Holt blades. See if I can find one of those. I got one sitting right here. Holt is an American company. Flippers again, and they do fantastic stuff. Got 2 of those. I think I've got a Morpheus around here somewhere as well. Anyway, I figure of the people who watch these videos, I don't know, maybe 1 in 5 are into knives, but it comes up a lot. All right, let me try to catch up with the chat. Jimmy Two-Tone, good to see you. Justin Luke, move on. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm late on that, but the topics that I wanted to get into, some obvious ones, are just the price of gold. I should pop over and look real quick to see where it ended. I think it was at 65. So yep, 1865. So I mentioned earlier that there are videos that you can produce, are going to get a lot of views, and then there are videos that aren't. And I've been pushing the videos that don't. So today I probably should have done a video on the price movement, because we have started the year really strong. I mean, we've got a we had two bits of news this week, and I guess if we're being specific, we had three bits. We had two bits of jobs data, and then we just had the minutes from the Fed meeting, and any of those could have stopped the little rally that we've had in gold. Got past both of them. 1865 is I think we ended the year at 1825, so 1865 is a pretty good bump from that. In all of these analyst predictions that have been calling for new all-time highs, I don't see that being off at all. Now, some of them $4,000. I don't know that I believe that's at all likely, but I mean the others all-time highs. That's only 2,100. We're not too far from that. That wouldn't surprise me. Come back to that. Silver Wolverine, I saw you in here earlier. What do you got here? 2023 LCS says they will be getting AGEs after January 14th. Premiums coming down a lot. Yeah, I've been saying that. Not that I'm any expert there, but it happens every year. So, and everybody freaks out. What happens is October, you start hearing about production stopping at the mints, and that is not what happens at all. What actually happens is they cut over and they start getting ready for the upcoming year. So there's just very small delay, and it cuts a little bit of production. What really happens is they're so popular that the inventory gets bought out. I mean, if you look at the amount of gold coin of American Gold Eagles that have been purchased in the last 2 years, it just blows away other years. And the mint's not set up for it. They can't just come in and add production. They have to, they have to use what they have, and they get behind pretty easily. So January rolls around. It's January 10th that they go out, 4 days shipping. There are going to be a lot of eagles and a lot of buffaloes all of a sudden, and all of those premiums are going to come down. So real quick, King Magpie, thank you, my friend. Krugers are wonderful. They're the best gold coin there are. K Sarah, thank you so much. That means a lot. And who else did we get in here that I missed? I'm the worst. I think that must have been Liquid Electrum. Thank you. Randy Matthews, good to see you. I go back up and I try reading these things, and I feel like I need somebody. I need a pro like Stormy here, just talking in my ear, telling me what I'm missing in chat. Silver Survivor, David Otness, channel. Good to see you. I do have a ledger around here somewhere. I've got them all over now. The important ones I guess are in the safe, but all of a sudden I've got some empty ledgers, nothing on them. I've sold that stuff. There are a few though. It'll come back. Constitutional Stacker, talking about Silver Wolverine and Salvate Metal and Savage. Great channels. Dakota Who, what do you think of silver? This is a funny one because when I started doing these videos, everybody was talking about silver, and clearly there's like a 5-to-1. Silver is about 5 times more popular than gold, or at least it was in 2020. And right at that time, I was starting to have issues with silver. The premium shot up. All of a sudden, you could get a 10th-ounce gold coin for less than you could get a 1-ounce silver coin. So to me, I was looking at it thinking that it just was, I don't know, just cheaper to get into gold. Didn't have the acquisition cost at least. And so I stopped. And right about the time that I stopped buying silver, I mean, everybody was saying silver was going to the moon, and it was just crazy. So, it's a fun story, especially if you already have it and you don't have to buy it to get on that train. Because if you already have 500 ounces, 1,000 ounces, I see people who have 2,000 ounces of silver and more. I mean, that's a fun story to hear that, you're going to be wealthy. You're going to be able to pay your mortgages off. But what happens with silver, in my experience, is that as the prices shoot up, they get brought back down. It's simple supply and demand. It's a very industrial metal. So if its industrial use is too expensive, if you can't buy the material, then its purpose kind of goes away. So it brings the price back down, and that happens with all the metals to a uh, certain amount, but happens a lot more with silver. So as a fun metal to sit in the safe, and you think that it's going to go up or you're going to build huge value on it, I kind of got a little less excited about silver. I also, it was always a divisibility thing. The reason that silver was so popular is because you couldn't do anything with gold. The value was too high, so you needed smaller denominations of it. And that's kind of where silver came in. We don't really do that now. You don't have that need now. So anyway, seems like that's a lot of negative about silver. I actually really like the metal because it's fun and I love the price point, but I don't know that I'm super excited about it as a big thing. It's almost like the side thing for me now. Again, that sounds negative, but shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it's two is one gold. Most of my videos about gold. So, and I get it. I get hate for not being a big silver pumper all the time. So, my take on platinum is a little bit different. I don't wear my wedding band anymore. Just take it off at the gym, or I actually got it uh, in at the gym. I had it. I almost took my finger off, so I kind of stopped wearing it. But it's platinum. My wife's all of her jewelry is platinum. Platinum is fantastic. I love it, but it's like it seems more like jewelry to me than it does a monetary metal, and I just don't think that a lot of people think of it as a monetary metal. So you could buy diamonds or gems or things like that, very similar to platinum to me. It just happens to be that a lot of the places that sell gold and silver also sell platinum. So that'd be the similarity. And if you get into that kind of trade, if you find a local dealer who will do those trades, then it's great. My local dealers won't do that at all. What they'll do is they'll sell it. So you'll go in and say you want to do a GSR trade, you want to sell silver for gold. So whatever it is, 70 something to one. So you take in your 76 1 ounce American silver eagles, and then you want to get that one American gold eagle. Well, the dealers around here, what they'll do is they'll say, here's what we'll pay you for your eagles. And then what do you want to buy? You want to buy a gold eagle. So they get out a piece of paper, or they pull out their laptop or their calculator, and it's a two-factor transaction. So you're not doing a trade, you're doing a sale and a purchase. And very rarely do they even work with you to make that a better deal. So I have trouble with that idea. With platinum, it's kind of similar. I can see a lot of people playing that volatility where you buy it low, you trade it high, so you don't sell it high. But I don't know that it could do that. I do though remember platinum when I bought those. That jewelry, it was more expensive than gold at the time, like considerably more. I feel like it was like 1.5 times, maybe even twice as expensive. And now it's, considerably cheaper. It's just strange. So I get it. I get why you might like it. I don't stack it like in coin form. Papa Z, thank you very much. It looks like we got Sabsta in here again, and more Krugers. I mean, more camera focus, more Krugers. I clearly need to try to work with this camera more. I have a couple videos that came out recently that I use this camera, but it had daylight. Everything was great, and then I go to hit the live this evening, and everything went to hell. So apologies. You can see the Moby Dick whale really well, though, so maybe just focus on him. Magpie is one of the dignitaries on Discord, and he's calling for Krugs. We've got a few of those. I've never shown a Krugerrand on the channel, which seems strange because it's the most popular gold bullion coin there is. But I've had three, and two of them have been fake. So the one that I got, it was actually the third that I got. The one that I still have, it is in a vault, and I should probably pull it out, just say, "Hey, here's a group." But it's a cull coin. It looks like it got drugged behind a goat cart, like chained up, thrown off the back, drug around with the horse. It looks like hell. And so it just wouldn't look good. Like an eagle, or even a lot of this pre-33, you get it on camera, and it just doesn't, something about it. The camera just doesn't get it. And it's because my camera won't focus, but also that there's not a huge depth of field, and the it looks very dull. Wow, that's just, I'm making everybody sick now. Trust me, eagles don't look good on camera. Buffaloes look great. The color looks great. But what really looks nice are the reverse proof. And so these coins, which look terrible tonight, look fantastic. The Mustang, which is a proof coin, looks fantastic on camera. In person, a Krugerrand just doesn't. A Krugerrand looks great in person. A Krugerrand on camera, that is ridiculous. I give up. A Krugerrand on camera just looks bad. So to put a drug behind a horse Krug on the on the channel, I mean, it's not worth the drive to the vault to pull it out. Anyway, what do we got? Chris Brennan, true or false? Sovereigns are the best premium deal. Yeah, absolutely. If you're in the UK, you got capital gains tax exemptions. People know what they are. People understand the weight and the purity. You take that in the United States, though, and it's a cool looking coin. It's an old coin, and people are like, it's gold color, but is it is it gold? Maybe it's brass. We don't know. Just Americans aren't smart enough for sovereigns and roosters. And then you try to work with a local coin shop, and what they have to do every night is they have to reconcile, for insurance and for their own business, they have to reconcile what they have. So they take everything off the shelves, they put it back in the safe, and they have to do this. Okay, they have to count up the ounces. And so you put sovereigns and the roosters at 20 francs roosters, LMUs, what are they, 0.1867 ounces? I mean, do the math. Rather than saying, I've got, 50 1 ounce and 10 quarter ounce, now you've got this 1867 and 24 whatever it is. So they're paying for local dealers, and they will, they'll punch you when you bring them in to sell them. They just won't give you what they're worth. Uh, Silver Wolverine asks about the new 2023 Gold American Liberty. It's a tree. I think it's going to be cool. And for the record, if we could go back, so many people said that the 2021 Liberty coin was going to be terrible. When those illustrations came out, I mean, there are videos out there. You go back and look before it was released, it was going to be terrible. It was almost unanimous. And you have to just assume that sometimes the mint gets it right. That is their top tier bullion product. It's not, I don't even know that they call it bullion, collectible, whatever. It turned out, it's fantastic. The sun looks a little bit funny on the Mustang, but the series is wonderful. Everyone, you don't even have to like the subject matter. They're just all fantastic. And so when you say, "Oh, it's a tree," then yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound cool, but I guarantee it'll be good. It's a instant purchase for me, Wolverine. I mean, no question. That is something that I'm looking forward to. What I don't like is these stupid premiums. 27.15 for that Mustang when it came out. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Bought it anyway. It's going for over 4,000 now. So I mean, it could sell it. I won't sell it, but you kind of have to look at that too. I mean, they go for a lot more than I feel like they should, but you turn around and sell them if you have a problem with it. Buy two. take the profit, pay for the one. I mean, a lot of ways to do it. I don't know that I uh, have the whatever it is, the $5,400 just sitting around to buy two, but I mean, some people do that. We stack gold. Will you sell me one of your buffaloes? Nope. The I'm not really into the idea of buying and selling online. This is not going to help, is it? More light, less light. A lot of the channels do that really well. They'll show a coin, they'll sell a coin, and it makes sense because it's fun for them. It's fun for the people watching. You can see all these coins you might not otherwise see, but I just to me, I don't like flipping. I don't like shipping. I don't like any of it. And I would feel terrible if someone got something that they ended up, not happy with. And so I don't have the mental fortitude to do it. And so then what I'll end up doing is I'll end up buying something like these guys. So we're going to be able to see these. Give me a one in the chat if the focus is wonderful. These are the reverse proof. We had it for a second. These are the reverse proof American Silver Eagles from the U.S. Mint. Wonderful looking coin. They look so cool. I don't know what to do with it. They're sitting up on a shelf, and oh my gosh, come on, focus. You can do it. Man, you guys should all be watching Yankee or Sal or something. Anyway, it's a 2021 product, American Eagle, silver reverse proof. Is a 2-coin set. Super cool. What was cool about it is, they changed the design, type 1 and type 2. You got both reverse proof. Seemed great. I bought it. $179 if I remember right. I don't know what to do with it now. It doesn't do me any good. It's not something I'm stacking. So it's one more box sitting on a shelf that nobody knows about except me. Now, if I was smart, I would sell those. I'd get them into the channel. I'd let everybody look at them so they get an idea of what they looked like. I'd put them next to a deck of cards. You know how big they were, and I'd tell you how wonderful they were. And then I'd say, hey, Friday night I'm going to auction these off, and I'd buy them for 179, and you guys would pay 189 for them. Everybody would be happy. But what ends up happening is they literally sit on a shelf above me. I've got a ridiculous amount. I shouldn't even say this, but there's too much stuff out of the safe. Those kinds of things, they sit there and I don't know what to do with them. Anyway, how did I get on that? Trying to read the chat unsuccessfully. That's what I got. So, okay. Papa Z, good to see you. LD Tush. Tusher. Tush. I'm with you. This idea that you're going to hand it down to your kids, maybe even hand it down to your grandkids. To me, that's like the ultimate. That's what got me into it. That's what I wanted to do. But I also assume that at any given time, I might sell half of it. And my rationale there is pretty simple. I mean, I'm a realist. If something comes along, if a property comes along, even like land, and I need some help with that down payment. I want to directly put all of it into that down payment, or to ideally I'd have enough land. It wouldn't be a down payment. It would just finish it off. It would pay it off. But, you need 20% down for a property. And if you're buying $1 million property, it's $200,000. So it's capital that not everybody has that sitting around. So the realist in me says, hell yeah, I'll sell some gold if it means that I can pick something up that's harder to get, more about timing, because I can always start buying this stuff back up again, especially if it's buffaloes. I can always buy more buffaloes. I won't sell them to you, but I can buy some more. I mean, pretty easy. So I'm not real attached to those. Now, other coins, I can't sell. So these are maybe a little bit like those American Silver Eagles I was just complaining about, except much cooler. And, this is something that would be um, more like an heirloom. And I don't see these as value toward, land. It's not something that I think my grandkids are going to have to sell so they can live outside the system, live off grid, survive in a post-apocalyptic world. But some of the gold is there. I mean, to be used. Okay, get irked. Good to see you. Can you remember what made you first start buying the actual metal? I've been considering it for decades. It's the pandemic that motivated me to first start. So I put out a video that hit this morning, and about a third of the people who would normally watch a video watched it. So it's out there. It was a the universe just kind of put something in front of me that caught my eye. It's the card cover in the story, and so I looked into it, and then kind of got into it that way. I spent a lot of time though online in the message boards, and you definitely get the doom and gloom in the 2008 message boards that you get today in YouTube. So lots of you need this because the EMP, or you need this because tyranny, and not a lot of you need this because it's a smart, it's a nice thing to have and it's fun. And so you end up spending your money on it where previously maybe you were spending your money on dumb things. So I got started in it kind of as, what I would think would be logical, practical ways, uh, not so much the prepping side of things, but I do some of that would be called prepping, I suppose, too. I don't think of it that way necessarily, but if my water supply goes off for a week or two, I've got that covered, and I've got other things. End of the world as we know it. Oh, end of the world. Yeah, it is end of the world as we know it. Marked for time. Do I collect Mexican mint? So if you had to pick coolest mint, you'd say Mexican mint. But you've really got you've got old Mexican coins and you've got Libertads. And Libertads, they're about as nice as they get from a design perspective, but they're about as dumb as they get from a cost perspective. And it's not because they're super low mintage. It's that the Mexican mint is a small mint and they're putting out everything they can put out. They just happen to not put out as many. It's not because it's limited release, because it's a collector piece. It's because they just don't mint much. And so it's priced as if, there were only a few hundred of these coins, which there are, but I don't see how that makes them collectible. Super cool. I'm not going to pay $3,600 for a reverse proof Libertad. Now, the Centenarios, the 50 pesos, those are fantastic. But again, you've got that case where I'm a little too dumb to do the math on the size. Did I see Riker? I mean, what's the size on a 50 pesos? I want to say 1.2 ish, but I feel like I'm overshooting that. Anyway, it's a weird number, and it's 90% purity. So then you have to figure it's 1.21, or what, I could be wrong, but 1.2-ish. And then it's 90% of that. So, I mean, you can figure it out if you're smart, but it's just kind of a weird thing. I really want to have one though, just because I think they look so great. There again, it's like the Liberty head, fantastic looking coin. There's some history behind it, even though it doesn't make sense from a uh, ease perspective. At some point, one of my kids is going to get this and they're going to wonder what to do with it. Where a Buffalo, I think it's like they need to. It's a hop to the local shop and it's sold. I mean, local shop will buy the pre-33 too, but it's more complicated. Best bars, soothing sounds. So what bars do you think are best for gold? Credit Suisse, Perth Mint, and PAMP. So Credit Suisse would be my favorite. PAMP has Veriscan. A lot of them have security features now. The problem with bars in the United States, I feel like I'm leading with negatives a lot. Uh, is pretty simple. The U.S. Mint doesn't produce bars, and so they're not as recognizable and they're not as popular. And if you look at a state like Florida, they actually have additional reporting requirements, and a local shop in Florida has to take the bar and hold it for something like 30 days in case there is a police report on stolen gold. So they're on the hook for whatever price they pay for it. If the price then drops, they can't liquidate it. So there are a lot of weird things about bars. They're also rectangles. They're easier to counterfeit, put them in an assay, and they're harder to verify. So not everybody has a metallitic scanner. And if I was going to go out and try to sell it on the street, I'm going to have a lot more luck selling an American Gold Eagle than I am a Pamp Suisse bar with Veriscan. So anyway, if I was to pick, and I have been looking, I like Credit Suisse. I like the 100 gram. I think they start to make sense in the larger sizes. I'm not, I usually don't buy that large, though. I'm usually buying the 1 ounce coins. I've gotten really used to that price point. You turn that into a $6,000 buy, and I get the feelings. I start to get the friction. I don't. It's not as easy to go out and buy. Those are the charges that either deplete the cash or hit a credit card, and I had to or hit the ATM before I go, and I got to explain those to my wife. What else do we have? I feel bad that I'm not saying hi to everybody. Nathan R, Polly Sofer, Shay Gorilla. I want to say Shay Gorilla. That's clever. Matthew Wahlberg. I think I caught you earlier. Marked for time. Roulette wheel. I want to say this right, but I'm not going to. Frantisek. Epstein's Magic News. Silver Survivor. Good to see everyone here. The no politics thing. Every once in a while, I'll say something, and someone will accuse me of being political. Usually, what it is, I mean, just be realistic for a minute. The majority of the people who are buying gold lean right, and I mean that just makes sense. There's nothing political about it though, and the problem is when it gets into like fringe. And so I just try to keep away from that, because earlier when I said that we probably agree on a lot more than we disagree on it, I feel like it's that times 10 when you get into the politics of this all. It has no place in it. Anyway, I don't enjoy those. I feel kind of dirty anytime I get it caught up in some of those particular topics that start to feel a little bit political. I've had to almost turn off the news over the last few years because it's gotten so extreme. So, I don't want to be bringing it onto YouTube when I'm not even watching it myself. Gerert, I feel like I missed a question from you earlier. I'm going to scroll. Bear with me. Voice sounds identical live to what it sounds like in his recorded videos. I must admit, I have a YouTube voice. So I don't know if anyone was watching Empire Precious Metals the other night when he was doing his auction, and he called Sal, and Sal answered. And you can go back and you can watch Stormy's video. Sal answered in his real voice and then immediately flipped the switch into Sal voice. It was pretty funny. You almost had to. I mean, it's subtle, but Sal does a voice. He exaggerates his voice. I don't know. When I'm doing these videos, if I do a fake voice and then I listen to it again, I want to hang it up and quit. Okay. So old school Nate, what part of the US are you located? Early live chat seems might be on the East Coast. I don't say, my man. This is such a weird thing to do an anonymous channel, because I do some things that aren't anonymous. And I am a little bit of a contradiction, because I'm not so far from where the English professor is. He's in the chat. you can catch that I live in a place that doesn't have an accent, but I work in a I work in a place that maybe has a little bit. I travel a lot, and I work in 2 places, both in the South, Southern California and in Texas, and, I have maybe a little bit of a chameleon voice because I begin to talk like the people I'm around when I'm there. Anyway, you know who 3311. Right on. Constitutional Stacker, good to see you. Trent Hunt, yeah, totally. China, perfect guess. Matthew Wahlberg, a rock radio host. I don't know. And growing up, the kids these days who have the internet like have been born digital. Totally crazy. You didn't have to like drive across the state, switching the radio stations the whole time, and the kind of channels that you would get, the DJs who just didn't really want to be there. Such a weird thing. I know what you're talking about when you say rock voice. I wish I didn't, uh, because I just remember even going to work, trying to listen to the radio, and those damn DJs would not shut up. Just put some music on. You had to listen to all the stupid stuff that some actor was doing over and over. Uh, okay, so am I cutting out? Sabsta, I don't know that you two are talking to each other. Uh-oh. Are you losing me? Seriously? Can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do a speed test just to see. One thing I will say is I do have a son who uses a fair amount of bandwidth in this house. He's probably doing something on his own and stealing my internets. Good now, good. Okay, so sticker. Let's see. There was a minute where it went out. All right, so I also have some VPN stuff that might have cut out for a second. And yeah, all right. Looks like it's good. What else do we have? I swear I had some topics I was going to cover. I got two of them. So a lot of time in the comments, and then all of a sudden you're spending all this time in your YouTube channel, which seems a little juvenile, but hey, it's a brave new world. And I've been spending a lot more time doing that. I've also again got hit by a truck, getting sleepy more, don't have as much time. I swear that I'm kind of missing out on a lot of videos, even the people that I really enjoy watching. I'm not watching as much. So what's happening is cutting out again for reals. Is he in a bunker on an island? I might be. Is it YouTube or is it me? Huh. All right. Well, now I want. Okay, I'm muted. I'm back. Is it good? All right. Well, probably what I'm doing is I'm probably using this fancy camera and it's probably stealing too much bandwidth and all of a sudden I can't you can't hear my voice. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. I have some links is what I was saying. So I didn't know about Stackers University, and so how many people do we have in the chat? I have 200 or so. Who knows Stackers University? Yeah, I don't know how popular they are. I didn't really know them. Anyway, they they had my channel on yeah, okay, Stackers are I'm kind of going back and forth. It's like so we're talking about Stackers University and then we're talking about the voice cutting out. Anyway, Stackers University had this best of Stackers Gold and Silver, and he sent this fantastic note. Seemed like a super sharp guy, really nice, really cordial. Even had a really smart comment about uh, about giving your flowers while you're still alive. It's a great expression. It's like, rather than, wait until somebody dies to say how great they were, uh, let them know ahead of time that you're thinking about them. Anyway, he sent this note. I meant to go out and check out his channel, and I've only seen the one video, and I haven't made time to do more. Anyway, he was nice enough to include me in his what did he call it? Best of stacking gold and silver in 2022. It's a video that's out there. I'm going to link to it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to link to it right now. I'll throw it in the chat. If I don't know, this is my chat. I think I can. I think I can do it. And it's at the end. Watch the whole thing. He calls out Sal as the hardest working channel on YouTube, and that's accurate. Wife picked up a beautiful folding pocket knife, hand decorated, acid etched Damascus. Super cool. Grumpy one. Who was the maker? Okay, so another one was my pal, Empire Precious Metals. No surprise there. I pay him, so he links to me. But he had the 10 best silver and gold YouTube channels that you need to watch, and didn't get a lot of views. He's one of those channels that surprisingly, like he puts out some good stuff, and he puts out a lot of stuff. He's been around. He's he does these auctions. He does a lot of live stuff. I mean, he's an entertaining guy. I always wonder why he doesn't get more views. Anyway, I was in that one. That'd be another link. This is like shameless self-promotion, but it's always a little bit easier when technically someone else is doing the promoting. You're just dropping links in the chat. Gold Chick, how are you? And one thing I was going to say, though, about Empire Precious Metals, I mean, there are all of these channels. It's a super hard video to do. I don't know how you would be able to do a video like that and not forget someone accidentally, or not just overlook somebody because you're dumb. And he overlooked 2 because he was dumb. He should have made it the top 12 best silver and gold channels, because I think that he missed Cam and Backyard Bullion. Both of those guys are horribly underrated. I don't know, the Backyard Bullion's underrated. He's got Campbell's Coins. I mean, that guy, like, of all of the content channels out there, he's the one who always makes me think. It's a lot of times it's because I don't agree with him, but his stuff he's a smart guy. I enjoy that channel. If you don't know Campbell's Coins, check it out. All right. Again, I'll just say it 3 times. Campbell's Coins, Campbell's Coins, Campbell's Coins. Did one of those come through? I don't know. It feels like you guys in the chat, you don't need me anymore. I think we're talking about Speg now. Okay, so can you hear me? Let me get just like approval in the chat if it's working, and hate if it's not. I'm just gonna assume it's working. Okay, Campbell's Coins. Yeah, somebody heard it. Hagar the Hodler. Do we say hodl? We say hodl. I think we say hodl. Hodler. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Tom Gregson. I didn't see you earlier. Thanks for coming. Let's see. I think I caught you. 24 karat gold buffalo. NC Farmer. Thanks for all the comments. I always appreciate seeing you on the videos. He's such a polite guy. I was thinking that the other day. It's always thank you, and I appreciate that, because one thing you'll find when you're trying to reply to the videos is you get some haters in there, and you think that you're a grown up and you think that you're fine with that, but some of them will sting. And I always appreciate seeing someone like you in there just saying thanks. Da Vinci, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, Campbell's Coins. Seriously, I mean, I feel like I'm promoting, but he really does have a good channel. He's a smart guy. Okay, what else? I think I actually had a list of things I was going to talk about, and I don't even know where the list is. So we're just going to go off of what's in chat, and until we get some. One thing that I didn't do was give the predictions, and I don't think I'm going to do it this year because so many things can come up. Uh, I don't feel like it's even smart to try because you either have soft landing from the Fed and the rally just kind of doesn't happen, or you get this case where the Fed comes out and they say mission accomplished too early and gold just tears off. So you're going to get one or the other. So you almost have this like maybe gold will be $2,080 at the end of 23, at some point in 2023, maybe they'll be 2,400. And I don't know, but I keep seeing these cases for $3,600 gold over and over and over. I don't know that we'll get there. That's double, but 2,100, 2,300, those starting to seem relatively likely. All right, I saw something about Britannias. J. Carl Finance, here you are. Currently how many Britannias? Okay. Uh, Here's the deal with Britannias. I've said in a bunch of these videos that I think the Britannias are probably because you can get them for 3.5%. And 3.5% is, I mean, for a 1 ounce gold coin, probably one of the best gold coins you can get. Definitely one of the most secure gold coins that you can get. And it's 3.5% premium. That is the way that you should go if you're not worried about being at the top of the list when you go to sell. So say you went to sell and gold did go to 3,600 and people were running in to sell. Local coin shops are only going to be able to take in so much inventory. Now, if you have a Britannia and I have an American Gold Eagle and the local coin shop can only buy one coin, he's going to buy my Eagle over the Britannia. Now, the buy to spread on my Eagle, I'll probably buy it for 6 or 7% over. If I was buying it today, it would be 9%. But say 6 to 7% over, and the local shop will pay me back 1%. Today, he'll pay me back 2 or 3. So the spread is 5% at the most. With a Britannia, probably realistically, it's 4%. You'll get spots. You've got a 4% spread. And on an Eagle, if you're not buying them at a discount, you've got a 5% spread. So technically, the Britannia wins. It's a beautiful coin, but I still want the coin that, again, is at the top of the list. And also, I might not sell at my local coin shop. I might want to sell private party. I probably do. So if I do that, more people are going to know the American Gold Eagle than the Britannia. Everybody in this chat knows exactly what a Britannia is. They know what it looks like. But you go outside of this little circle and it's not the same thing. Totally different world. So Britannias are great. You asked if I have any. I had two and I sold them. And selling is kind of is not right. I traded them. I actually traded them for Eagles. In both cases, I gave $40 more. Britannia for an Eagle. I gave a Britannia $40. I got an Eagle. I did that twice. All right, Shane Eastman, good to see you. George Alexander, Blake Lee, Left Side Story. We stacked gold. I caught you earlier. KIGF, Salt Life, 1717. Thanks everyone for coming out. I know the video is terrible. I'm going to work on that. I know it sounds like my audio has been terrible. So, I mean, I'm like, what, 0 for 2? But we're trying, man. It's Friday. It's also been crazy weather across the country. It could just be that, I don't know, somewhere along the way, a snowplow maybe hit a pole. Who else do we have? J. Carl Finance, Little Stevie Evans. Let me see if I can get some of these questions out. Soothing Sounds. I'm curious if you're recommending buying gold region inclined. For example, you're American, thus buying more Eagles or Buffaloes. I'm European. Should I focus on Britannias, Philharmonic, etc.? Absolutely. I try to say that. I know I don't say it enough. Anything that I'm talking about is United States. And when you're looking at a buffalo or an eagle, that's not a regional thing, that's a countrywide thing. So eagles, buffaloes, anywhere you are in the United States, that's your best bet. Uh, if you do get to the New England states, you're going to see more Britannias. If you get to Texas, you're going to see more Libertads and Centenarios. And if you get to Southern California, you're going to see more pandas. It's just one of the things that regionally you will see those secondary coins. Maples, they're kind of everywhere, but you'll definitely see those in the northern states. So what you're getting is top two, eagle and buffalo. Those are the top, no question, anywhere you are in the states. The second choices, or I guess technically third choices, that changes regionally. If you're in Europe, a maple leaf, it was the first, well, it was the first 999 coin, and then it was also the first four nines fine gold bullion coin. So we all know, we talked about this earlier. Krug's first bullion coin, maple second. So the popularity of the maple, you're going to find that anywhere. Philharmonic, very, very popular. That's another one that you do well. So your Britannias, you have a little bit of that. I don't know. Not everybody likes the Brits thing. Maybe I don't know why. They seem like lovely people, but Philharmonics and Maple Leafs. It seems like in Europe they always do well. Now I know there are a lot of people in the chat that are from Europe. You have a better take on this than I do, but from what I've learned, Philharmonics and Maples are always good. Britannias are also good choices. Question, I saw it go by there. Yeah, Milk Bunny. Door marked private also got hit by a truck. I had high hopes for it. I still do. I'm going to put more time into that too. There's certain things that YouTube does not like. They will demonetize you. And that's one thing, but they'll also deplatform you. So you can't get a lot of the things that you might need. You can't get chat support. If something happens on your channel, there's nobody there that you can talk to. So I don't want to talk about certain things. Now, I spend some time at the range. I spend some time with other things that we were talking earlier about how some people don't like pocket knives. I have some other things that are maybe a little larger, a little nastier looking, and alcohol is another one. I try to keep it off of the channel more or less. Dormark Private was going to be a little bit more of some of the things that we as adults can talk about, but maybe not everybody appreciates on Two is One Gold, or YouTube in general maybe doesn't like. That's what Dormark Private was about. Still going to do something there. I just need some time. I also figured too, if YouTube ever gets tired of me and they want to shut me down, I could always just move over to the other channel. Gold Chick is saying she melted her pandas. Why would you do that? I think Gold Chick is into gold more than most people. I'm sure probably making a lamp or something. David Sass, yeah. So the adult chat. I'm with you. Not only does YouTube need to chill, like the whole world needs to chill. I mean, there's so many things. I'm Gen X, and I feel like I can understand, where some of the some of the feelings come from, but there's a point where I don't know, people's feelings get hurt a little too easily, and also I see things all the time. If I'm watching TV, I don't have to like everything that they show. I can still appreciate the show. Uh, some of those comments earlier about showing alcohol, I've got that a couple times over the last few weeks. I don't even remember when I did, but I was watching Peaky Blinders, and I wonder how many of those comments they get. Like, I mean, you're showing alcohol. You're killing people. We don't like that. Right. Second one maybe, but it's a weird thing having to watch yourself. I had the video from today. I said shit in it, and that I got dressed down for that one too. Anyway, MMMMM, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, so we don't do feelings. We grew up having to do it ourselves. Our parents didn't fill out our college applications. Callie Fortune. I think I missed you earlier. Blake Lee. Again, thanks for coming out. Russell DeRosa. Favorite poker rooms. So some of this, I mean, all the obvious stuff. I love the Taj. I love the Bellagio. There's some off strip ones too. I also do some smaller poker rooms, but lately I don't do much at all. I mean, I had kids and I cut back dramatically, and then I would do it. Then it was almost more like vacation poker playing, and now there's some that are really close, and I have a cabin that's really close to one too. So I have some local haunts, but I don't play nearly as much as I used to. Loopers is a good movie with gold in it. So that's actually something. It's fun to see that. I mean, if you just kind of go through the movies, right, that have gold or silver, you have Lethal Weapon with all the Krugerrands that fall out of the back of the car. You have The Road. It's the Cormac McCarthy book turned movie that he finds the bunker, and there's all these Krugerrands there as well, and they just kind of ignore them because who needs a Krugerrand when the world is over. You got the Goonies. You have the accountant, the you know the Airstream in the accountant is just all of the things that you could want are in that Airstream. It's fun seeing that stuff in movies. Bullet Train just had. I just watched Bullet Train, and they have a case in it. And, no spoilers, but they open it up, and there are these kilo bars of gold in the middle. Kaleidoscope is now. I think that's on Netflix. They're getting into a vault, and the trailers show gold. I mean, it's fun seeing that stuff in the movies. I'm sure I'm missing some, but obviously I've done some videos on like John Wick. I saw that just pop up lately. Yeah, I mean, how cool is that? And for all the people who don't know gold at all, you watch John Wick, it has to like peak something for you. But early on, you had Goonies for me. I mean, that's still I love that movie. I mean, who doesn't like the treasure hunting movies? There's I'm not going to come up with the name of it. Okay, I am. Outer Banks. It's kind of like a young adult kids show. Uh, the whole thing is about finding gold, and when they find it, uh, I'm going to miss this one. I can't give you spoilers on this one because I only saw parts of it. One of my kids pointed out this part, and they're like, how much would that be worth? They open up a safe, and it's just shelves on shelves on shelves of kilo bars. Super cool. Probably be worth about $300 million. Anyway, Wes Steven, One-Eyed Willie. Sam Brooks, Scrooge McDuck. Are we talking about the cartoon, or are we talking about favorite gold coins? Because I hope you're talking about the cartoon. Midnight gardening or private vault. So this is a good question. Interesting, Rich. Midnight gardening or private vault. So I don't do the buried in the rose garden thing. I like to, you joke about it, but the vaults, which also gets me, informed that if you don't hold it, you don't own it. But there's a case where I get doxxed, and I've got young kids. So I don't keep everything at my house. It's really easy to put something in a vault, keep some here, kind of best of both. And I don't know. There are serious vaults out there they're actually depositories, and they can give you options where they'll actually lease your gold from you, give you points on it. Because what happens is you've got companies take like a refiner that has to produce gold, and they get overbooked, and they need to show X amount of ounces on their books. So they'll lease gold from you. So there's a lot of cool things that a depository will do on top of just vaulting your gold for you. And when you go there, it's serious, man. You've got security in full kit. They've got assault rifles and body armor. They've got the 9 strapped to their legs. So it's serious stuff. Kind of fun to see. My vault is too far away. It's a little too far away, but still, I think it makes sense to do some of each. Not to put some in the rose garden and some in the vault, but maybe to hide some in a safe in your house, bury some in the bottom of the lake, put some in a vault. Little Stevie and Evans. Good to see you. The Italian Job, yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, they so in the opening scene, the boats, they drill the floor torch the floor out, the safe full of gold, and then later they grab some more. Uh, I don't somewhere someone said there was some fake gold bars. Anyway, all right, so what else do we have for questions that we want to hit? I've got a good solid 15 minutes of poor focus and bad audio left in me before I go get a drink and fall asleep. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep. Sabsta, Belgians are my favorites. So we've got a notable Belgian in the chat, and I can't spoil the names, but I took some French in college. I had to pass like a fluency exam. And I had to figure out a language in 2 years. I had some Spanish, and then I couldn't get into the Spanish classes, so I had to take French, and that is a messed up language. That's a tough language. Everything you can think of, from a pool to a window to a door, you have the male version of some things are male and some things are female. And I determined pretty early on that if it has a hole in it, it's female. So if it's a door, it's la porte, the it's anyway. I thought that I figured out the male female part of the language, and I was feeling pretty good. And then you get to the pronunciation, and I was terrible at it. So I spent a year listening to these stupid tapes. Le Poursuite Inattendu. It's like murder mystery in French to get the uh, to get to get the accent down. And now Sabsta comes into the Discord channel and he tells me that you don't pronounce the last consonants in words. I feel like he doesn't know the language well enough. No. All right. What else do we have? I had a, I found my list. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this list. These are like big topics. I was going to mention though the ultra high relief Series 3 Lunar Rabbit from the Perth Mint. AppMex has had 10 of them. I bought one. Bill Dalton bought one. I think maybe someone else in the chat here bought one. That got it down to 7. It was at 6 this morning. I just looked earlier today. I think it was still at 6. That coin is effectively this coin. So merge these two. There's the opposite thing going on again. Which way do we go? Okay. These are both an ounce. Am I off screen? I am the absolute worst. This is this coin. It's a proof coin. It's a thick 5 millimeter coin. Super cool. 188 of them minted. Rabbit just came out. You couldn't get it direct from the mint. You couldn't get it from LPM or EMK. And then AppMex had 10 of them on the site. Well, now if you go back, you hit up eBay and you look to see, well, I want to go back and get, so I have the Tiger. If I want to go back and get the Ox, the only Ox I can find in that high relief proof version is $10,000 asking price right now. So you get a rabbit today for $2,300. And okay, it's a hare. You get a hare today for $2,300. Ultra high relief, super cool coin. And I mean, buy 2 of them. If it goes to half of the cost of the Ox, you get 5. Again, you got one paid for. It's not financial advice, but super cool coin. I'd like to do it, but it's Christmas was kind of burned through my fun money. All right. So Count of Monte Cristo. Well, were we talking books? I mean, because every book on my shelf, I feel like has gold in it. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So I'm gonna keep looking at the clock. I got a good $10. What are you talking about, Sabstead? 10 minutes left. $50 donations. He doesn't see them. Then afterwards, he feels bad about it. Well, what happens is I can't keep up with the chat because I'm not a millennial. I'm Gen X, not good with the technology apparently. So when I miss them, I go back afterwards, I watch it again, and then I feel bad. Sam Brooks, man, you loved it. I did college and then I did grad. And college was fun. I'm talking undergrad and all the things that you want college to be. And then grad was horrible. It was none of the things that you want it to be. I was dirt poor, had a job in a program that you're not supposed to have a job in, and all of these I was constantly running on top of it. So when I switched schools to go to grad, that's when I had to pass that fluency exam. So I was technically, whatever you would have been considered a senior trying to get into freshman classes. And my first class, they were singing some song that I just thought was a joke. And no, they had all done their high school French and they all knew what they were doing. And my only only familiarity with the French language was from Miss Piggy. Okay, two or Randy, come on, man. So I had one summer I was a line welder and I burned my hands. And I'm not going to say that I don't have like some sunspots because I spent a lot of time in the sun, I guess, but hands maybe make me look a little bit older, but come on. Yankee's older than me. 56. Yeah, he's older. All right. What else should we cover? We got our pocket knives. We got our cards. We got our lunar hares. I still think they're lunar rabbits. We didn't talk about busting slabs, but maybe we catch that next time. Maybe when we have some focus. We spent plenty of time talking about Campbell's coins. We talked about Yankee. We talked about Stormy. What else? Top coin I want to buy in 2023. So I was thinking about this. I know I'm always thinking about this. Who am I kidding? But I was recently thinking, like, what do I really want to get a hold of? And to me, the stupidest coin that you can buy is a reverse proof Libertad. And that is the one that I want to buy right now because I don't even know why. I feel like the peer pressure has been steep enough that I have to buy it now. We'll see. I would love to have a Stater. I would love to have a Gold Aureus. Those are dangerous. I mean, you're looking at $4,000 and up for like a 16 gram to 20 gram gold coin. Pretty crazy. But Roman coins, Greek coins, Macedonian coins, you're talking about these are coins from more than 2,000 years ago. That's just super cool. Clean Money's in the chat. Fantastic channel. Clean, how are you? This feels weird to call you Clean, but I'm going to go with it. Who else? MN Fiasco. Is that Minnesota Fiasco? Or I'm going to assume it is. Guess the state. It's not Minnesota. I don't like your taxes. Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, Campbell's Coins. He's got a fantastic channel. If you see him, tell him he owes me for promoting him this whole Friday night live stream. Friday night live stream sponsored by Campbell's Coins. The South African elephant gold coin, as it turns out, super cool coin. I had some friends that are military that have some issues with Somalia, I guess. I mean, there's some pretty obvious issues, and I have a local coin shop that doesn't like them either. So I've always kind of avoided them. Okay, so yeah, Minnesota. I am not in Minnesota. Do you root for the Dogs? I mean, no, are we trying to out me? Silas Marner, I didn't call you out earlier. Good to see you. I mean, there's so many people in the chat that I think I missed. I'll just apologize once. Gold chick wants a gold 1795 bust or a Charlotte mint gold. I don't get specific. I mean, these you go backward and these coins get so expensive so fast, and the population of who knows what that coin is just goes down and down. Like I'm a simple guy. I get excited about these ultra high relief coins, and what are they? I mean, stupid mintage. They're like, I don't even know, 19,000. That's not right. I think it's considerably more than that. Like, anyway, doing a giveaway with that rabbit. I don't think so, DC. Maybe when I get to Yankees channel size. Igni Owl, Kyle Amoroso, good to see you. What do you suggest for a first coin ever? I mean, in the United States, it's it's an eagle. If you're looking at fractional, I mean, that's your only choice. You could buy a Britannia or a Maple Leaf, but I would just say, just because the newest people are the most likely to end up turning around and selling it, just get an eagle. It's not going to be as sexy as some of the other coins, but it's the most popular by far. It's the way to go. As far as what size you get, I did a video talking about just some motivation, and how it's easier to stay in the habit if you're buying a lower price point coin. So quarter ounces to me have always made a lot of sense, even though from a premium perspective, you are giving up money. I mean, but we're talking about the kind of money that you'd be giving up at, one drink at the bar, or, you know, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's not that crazy. So quarter ounce to me is a great coin to kind of grab and see if you like it before you dive in. Quarter ounce, though, if you haven't seen them in person and you've been watching YouTube videos of all these 1 ounce coins, they might surprise you a little bit. You're talking more like the size of a nickel, and it's just crazy how expensive gold is. Something that size can be $500-$600. Uh, so Minnesota fiasco. That I heard just recently that sales tax doesn't apply to bars. Is that accurate? And Josh is saying that AppMex has your coin, $3,700. What would we be talking about? The Liberties they sell for 3,700. Clean and Josh, thanks again for hitting that membership. Left side story. Are you a fisherman by chance? You seem like a fly fisherman. I fly fish. I'm not a patient person though. Um, I have motorcycles and UTVs, and so more than likely, I'm the person that the fly fishermen are yelling at as I fly by on the UTV. But I do it sometimes. I I had a place in the mountains, kind of the happy place, and this year I sold it. Uh, Real estate went crazy. Now I'm just kind of biding time to get another. Uh, what else do we have? So the 1/10 ounce Silas Minor, you're talking about those. I can't read those either. And I have found that a 1/10 ounce coin, if you have 10 of them, super cool. Not really, there's not much cooler than a tube of small fractional. But when you get one, I can't read them either. And they seem a little underwhelming. I mentioned earlier bringing the cards in. The 1/10 ounce coin was the reason why. It'll surprise you that something that size can cost $250. I mean, gold is super expensive. Uh, Quarter ounce AGEs. It's funny because I think that that's such a great coin, and I just get completely dressed down in the comments, given bad advice. I had two people said they unsubscribed because I gave such bad advice, saying that a quarter ounce American Gold Eagle might be a decent purchase. And I didn't even say American Gold Eagle. I just said quarter ounce gold coin. Uh, Hey, welcome, Shane. I feel like I need like Stormy's, whatever they are, the one of us Gooba Yeah, someone help me in the chat. What are his little guys pounding on the table? Two of you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right. Comic books, I don't. Original art, I wish I did. Um, the 10th ounce. By no means am I saying that you shouldn't do that. Definitely not looking down on that. Uh, I have a couple. I think they're great. I just know that if you didn't see them in person, you buy them online. When you go to your mail and you open that up, you might be a little surprised because it is super expensive. Thank you, Randy. Gobble gobble. That was going to bug me all night. Um, we are probably winding down a little bit. As long as you guys can put up with my ums, my bad focus, and bad light, and potentially bad audio, I can keep going for a little while. But watches, I actually, so I had a Rolex Explorer, nothing super great. I had a tag that was more expensive than that. Again, whatever. Had a Breitling. It kind of had gotten into a point where I was buying watches, and for no good reason. This is back before iPhones, you know, made it. iPhones really took a hit out of the watch market. So all of a sudden, it's like you don't need a watch because you get an iPhone now. But I could never get a hold of a Steel Series Rolex, and I still can't. If I can, I'll probably grab one. But if you go to like Joma Shop to buy one, they want 15, 16, 17,000 dollars for a $9,000 Rolex. Yeah, I know they're starting to come down, but availability is not. So Joma Shop might be bringing their prices down slightly, but where I could have, uh, like traded in a Patek or some other stuff I have. You get, say, you get 10,000. This just sounds ridiculous to say out loud. So maybe I should just say you get $1,000 for the for the watch. You turn around, it's trade dollars, so you have to put it towards something else. So then you're paying, $3,000, 3,000 for something that actually is probably only worth 10. So it's just not worth it quite yet for me. If I find one locally, I'll grab one. I Bugsy McCode, I think, just spun by in the chat. I swear I saw. Yep, Bugsy, good to see you. Bugsy's one of the moderators on Discord. He's kind of the guy who keeps it together. Him and Riker and Bill are all mods. If you're not on Discord, you should check it out. It's fantastic. It runs itself. I'm just a tourist there. It's fun. All right, DC, good to see you. Wait on the octopus. It's just, I don't even know that it's anodized or that it's brass. I was trying to get, I was playing with, like, maybe if I change the angle of these coins, the focus won't be so terrible. And I just put coins on it. He's just there to hold my iPhone typically. Bugsy, well, so here's the funny thing. I put together the Discord channel. That's making it sound like I created the thing. I started up the server because I wanted it to be something where you can have conversations without me having to lead it. Like, I'll put out a video. Here's the topic. Let us know what you think. Well, that's okay. So it's kind of like a one-way conversation. I'm telling you what you need to talk about. Discord's not that way. You go talk about whatever you want to talk about. Channels in there to try to keep it organized. I'm really just there kind of as a, for the aesthetics of it all, trying to keep it from getting too messy. But it's its own thing. Okay, yeah. MacGyver knows. I was just saying earlier, I don't know that one of the mods is in the channel. Well, he's just outed himself. So all three of the mods have made it in tonight. So LMUs, anyone wants to know anything about 20 francs roosters, anything like a 20 francs roosters, anything like a 20 francs roosters, except you don't really know what it is. It's MacGyver is going to be your guy. You can find him on Reddit too. I don't know what your name is on Reddit, but and maybe I'm outing him. Maybe I'm doxing him and shouldn't be, but he's got a subreddit out there. So RCM better than the US Mint, had to be said. Accurate. It's fair. Anyone's better than the US Mint. The thing that RCM gets wrong and gets horribly wrong is they can't figure out the diameter of a coin. A 1 ounce coin should not be 30 millimeter, it should be 32. That is their fatal flaw. Same goes for their quarters. They should be 22, not 20. And their tenths should be whatever, 14, 15, whatever. Anyway, those coins are, I think, probably the Canadian maple leaf on the obverse, or excuse me, on the reverse, is probably the nicest looking coin, standard bullion period. But boy, the obverse, the queen, casual Liz is terrible. She looks like a cartoon. RCM bars, though, are super cool. 10-ounce silver bars. If I had to pick a silver bar, that's the one I like. Pam Swiss poured. It's really nice too. But yeah, clean you. Same page there. Those RCM bars are nice. They kind of sort of fit in those capsules. And I should have left all mine in plastic. That's the problem with silver. It doesn't like it when you touch it. It doesn't like the sun. Doesn't like a lot of things. Doesn't like air. So I put them in capsules after I cut them out of the plastic like a dummy. And the one that I got most recently, it's never coming out of that plastic capsule. It's in there for life. It's stuck. Matthew Wahlberg, good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Have a good weekend. Almost forgetting it's Friday night. Randy, I mean, yeah, on the Canadian maple leaf, casual Liz. She looks like she's gonna go hang out with the girls and have some coffee cake. Scottsdale silver, super cool. Probably if I was really into silver right now, I think they're my favorite. The big thick silver coin, or well, not coin, rounds. Sorry, their bars are great too. 2023 Liberty design. I said this earlier. I mean, it's a tree. How excited can you get about a tree? But my take on it is that I can almost guarantee that it's going to be fantastic. And I pre-ordered today without seeing it. I have no question it's going to be nice. What I want to see is a stag on a coin, and I'm an auto buy on something like that. Michael McCoy, good to see you. Appreciate you in the comments all the time. Have a good weekend. Yeah, Sam Brooks. I don't know if you see that in the Discord. Thin Liz, long neck Liz, whatever. I started watching The Crown when I was super sick. And when I say sick, I wasn't sick. I was injured. And I kind of got caught up in it. I kind of like it. It's the early stuff. I gave up on it after season 1, but you get a lot of the history of the World War I, World War II. Kind of an interesting show, and still, you have to respect her. I suppose I know there's a lot of hate for Queen Elizabeth, but she did a lot of great things. Longest living, ruling monarch in history, right? Anyway, kind of cool. We can call her Liz, though. I'm sure she's okay with it. New Zealand have a stag? I don't know. Probably on their silver. Those German coins do. You got some like bombshell woman in corset armor. Plate mail boobs. Minnesota fiasco. We hit by a truck on a bike. Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, first of all, if I was from Madison, I mean, unless I'm there for college, you would catch my accent. But I didn't actually get hit by a truck. It was a metaphorical truck. Anyone buying the kilo? Yeah, I think that's not my gig. Okay, so Andrew Grantham, don't add anything important. Hey, I apologize, my man. I never know if you're being serious in these things or I'm getting dressed down, but I'll take either. Can't be for everyone. Jägermeister for a stag. If the logo on the Jag bottle was on a coin, I think that'd be a great looking coin. All right, so it is 8:10 or 3 a.m., depending on where you live. I think it's a good time to shut it down. Bugsy's right. Gold is serious business. We can't be talking about stags on coins or whatever else, whatever whatever other weeds I got into, where I may or may not live. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend and new year and all of those things. I'll get back to some of the regular videos next week. If you missed any of the videos I put out for this last week, it kind of got off of the commentary for gold prices and the doom stuff. Spent a little bit more time just on some of the things that I liked. I'll probably get back to the more normal stuff next week. Uh, Take a look though at some of those older videos, and also look up Campbell's coins. Look up, Clean Money's in here. I have a feeling a lot of you already know him. Uh, those videos I linked to earlier, I might put those in the description. Stackers University. I still need to look into him a little bit, and then Stormy had that top 10 video. Kind of cool. Jeffrey, I hope you weren't here the whole time. We need to catch up. Have a good weekend. Everybody else, thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and take care.